So, I have to admit, I looked at this infographic, The Cosmic Connection, and my first reaction was pure skepticism.
I get that. It makes a pretty big claim right at the top.
A huge claim that your entire happiness is shaped by a core group of only 20 to 30 people. That number just feels incredibly low.
It does, yeah, if you're thinking about, say, your social media followers. But this deep dive isn't about that.
Okay.
It's presenting a spiritual framework. The source argues that out of everyone you meet, only that tiny group really matters because you are, and this is their phrase, karmically destined to meet them.
Karmically destined. That's a heavy phrase. So we're not talking about the barista who gets my coffee order wrong.
Probably not. Unless, that barista triggers some massive emotional reaction in you. The source puts these key people into what it calls your life's problem set.
A problem set. That sounds less like destiny and more like high school math class.
It does, but it's actually a really useful mental model. Usually when we run into a difficult person or a rival, we just think it's random bad luck. We ask, why me?
Right. Why is this happening to me?
This framework says, no, it's not random. These difficult relationships are actually unresolved issues from past lives.
So the micromanager at work isn't just being annoying. He's, spiritual homework.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. The infographic talks about this mechanism of recurrence. It suggests we keep re-encountering the same souls over and over.
So in a past life, they were a difficult sibling, maybe, and now they're a rival at the office.
Precisely. The costumes change, but the actors are the same because you haven't quite learned the lesson yet.
It's like a cosmic theater company where the same actors just keep showing up in different plays.
And the source is very specific about the why here. It says these aren't punishments, they're necessary trials. If you start to see that friction as a design feature for your growth, not a bug, it changes everything.
It stops you from playing the victim.
You stop asking, why me? And you start asking, what is this trying to teach me?
I can see the power in that. But how does this connect to the other big visual in the source? There's this massive image of a universal tree of life.
That's the structural explanation for it all. The source suggests that all souls are just branches on one single tree. It's a way to visualize that despite our individual dramas, we're all fundamentally connected.
Which brings us to soulmates. And I feel like pop culture has completely ruined that term. Is this about romance?
Not at all, actually. In this framework, a soulmate is really just a proximity metric.
Proximity?
Yeah, it's the soul on the branch right next to yours. You resonate with them because you come from the same wood, essentially. It implies this deep, natural familiarity.
But here's the part that actually stopped me in my tracks. It takes that warm, fuzzy tree idea and applies it to our enemies.
This is the core takeaway right here.
Oh.
The source states very explicitly that your competitors, the people you really can't stand, are not strangers.
No.
No, they are connected souls you've met countless times before.
That is a very hard pill to swallow. I mean, if I'm fighting someone for a promotion, I don't really want to hear that my rival is just another branch on my tree.
But that's the illusion the source wants to break. It's saying that separation is a myth. If we are all interconnected parts of one life energy, then fighting a rival is just your right hand fighting your left hand. The us versus them mentality is fundamentally flawed.
So if we buy into this, if my enemy is a returning soul and my difficult boss is a necessary trial, what's the graduation requirement? How do I finish my problem set?
The answer is deceptively simple. The ultimate goal of all this friction, the whole end game, is just to learn to love one another.
That sounds like something from a greeting card, but in this context, it feels much more strategic.
It is strategic because once you can recognize the other person as part of your own tree, the hostility just loses its fuel. It shifts the entire dynamic from winning a fight to resolving a misunderstanding between two connected parts.
It definitely reframes the next Monday morning meeting. It turns a conflict into an opportunity for recognition.
It does. And it leaves you with a really provocative thought. If this source is right, and your biggest rival is actually a soul who agreed to play the villain in your story just to help you grow.
Wow.
How does that change the very first thing you say to them the next time you have a conflict?